Okay, all right. Back at the yurt, Roundhouse. So I've been making the skylight covers, the windows that are going to be the skylights. So there we are. That's what the frames look like. I know they're very lightweight, but all they're really, so they're very thin profile frames. All they really are doing is going to go round the piece of glass. Double glazed unit will go in there, and then cover strips over the top. The whole thing will be packed. I mean, what do you call it? Yeah, a little bit of packing and silicone. A couple of straps down the bottom, stop it sliding out, and there it be. So then it will be in there. It'll be a lot heavier then, obviously. And so then, look at this. Right, get this. The frame sits on there like that, and then a little tiny bit of packing and messing about at the top to get just how it's got a little bit of play. It's got to have a little bit of play, otherwise it won't shut, will it? But not too much play. But on the other hand, if I needed to, I could sand a bit off the edge of there. It's not very brilliant edge anyway, is it? On the other hand, it's quite hard to get out, so tiny bit of play, a little bit of packing up the top, and then attach it, and then it will hinge open like that. There we are. That's all it has to do. So the rigidity is all in the glass, actually. The frame is just there to provide the hinge, more or less, and cover the edges of the glass. That's all it is. Anyway, when I first made the frame for here, I was a bit dismayed because I made it the wrong way round, so I made it that way round. And when I came to have a look, it was just like not right, and not right that way, and not right this way. And if you got it lined up at the top, it would be completely off down here. Anyway, so I thought, oh God, oh bloody hell. And then I thought, well, don't give up. So I went around the other side to the other skylight. You can't really see it because it's dark in there now because the tarps are on, and discovered that it fitted all right on the other side. And then I realised that the template had got turned round, and therefore it was wrong. Anyway, so now this is okay. So I'm going to fit it, attach the hinge. Well, the hinge is already attached to the frame up there. Attach the hinge to the skylight surround so that it opens. So that it opens. Then, once that's achieved, with it shut, I'm going to clamp a piece of plastic like that. It's around here somewhere. Onto it, and then felt tip inside around that edge there, so that I can then take it back to the workshop, cut it out. There we are. So anyway, so the Roundhouse is coming on. I mean, I'm still just making things for it. I've made the doors. I've now almost finished. It's always an exaggeration, but I'm a long way on with making the skylight windows. They're going to have plastic in them to start off with, but then we're going to be ordering the glass, but the glass has to get made specially because it's this, that and the other. So we've fitted the central hub skylight up there. I've screwed them shut, and I've underestimated a few things that are wrong with this. Yeah, I thought I didn't put cover strips on the top of the plastic because I didn't think I needed to. I thought I'd put plenty of silicone in there and it was all sealed anyway. It's not. So bits of rain have got into the grooves that are exposed. Well, they're not exposed, but anyway, rain has got in there. It's not going to get in here, but it's you can notice it. You can see a sort of where there's rain in a couple of the bits. I mean, I don't know. I'm not going to do anything about it for now. Anyway, so the skylight opening. When I made the skylights, I got it wrong, and so in the end I had to use the practice skylight that I made opening, This was a practice. I never intended to use that. But I had to in the end because I ran out of stuff. Douglas. This is the other one. So I've made the frame. The frame is already sort of just about ready to fit in there, but I don't think I'm going to fit it because I can't remember quite why I'm not going to fit it. I can't remember. Oh yeah, because there's a little bit of flashing to go on it that I've forgotten about. So in here, things are looking quite good. There's a few panels that aren't particularly well great, like this one, for instance. Like, you can get your finger right in there. That's not brilliant. These ones are kind of okay. That's about the same. Not great. And there's a lot of this bluing on the ply, which has happened when I had it stored. It doesn't rub off. It's I had it stored underneath the tarp, underneath the canopy, and these bits are where the insulation that I'd used, that's got aluminium on it, I'd used it as packing to sort of keep them separate. So there we are. And then something else has started to happen in here. Look, see these dead straight lines? And more of them there. When I first saw these, and I sort of still go for the feeling that they're to do with the joints of the insulation inside somehow causing a weird thermic reaction, but there's been no heating in here. So I don't know what it really is. And I'm not absolutely certain that it is that, because there's a piece of ply that's like one of these pieces that was a spare, and it was outside and it got really wet and it was just lying on the ground. And that's now back at the workshop. And that's gone a bit mouldy, which is, not a big surprise, I suppose, because it was actually lying on the ground in the wet for a couple of weeks. But it's got these lines on as well. So, I don't know what they're about. I think that they're to do with, inside there is insulation packed in slabs. But the joints of the slabs are taped over with the aluminium tape. But the positioning of where the lines are would seem to be like something to do with that. But on this one, look, there's line there, line there, line there. I didn't do any of them like that. So, same here. So it might actually be to do with the manufacture of the plywood. I have no idea what it is. Anyway. So far so good, but it would be a very good idea that we get this thing sealed up soon and a stove fitted, because it's been okay, but really, it is middle of winter, and eventually there's going to be, like there is there, something starting to happen there. Look. So anyway, it's not as tight as I would like, and I don't know what to do. I think what I should do, the tension band's up quite high. I think what I should do is put a continual proper full-on ratchet strap right way around, cramp it up so that it goes right the way out of side of here, across the door, around the whole thing, just continual, and then clamp that up, put a bit more pressure on that, and see if I can close it up at all. If I can, I'll be bloody very happy about it. And if I can't, so be it. We did put it up and then move bits and then move bits again. Like this bit here is not very good either, but we moved that twice. So yeah. Anyway, so yeah, there might be a bit I can do with that. I might be able to pull it in a little bit. Things looking quite good up there. When the scaffold goes, it'll be well wicked when the scaffold goes. When I took the scaffold out in the workshop, it moved and some of these opened up. So, and then I put a continuous band round and tried to sort of tighten it back up, which was a mistake. So this time, whilst the scaffold's here, I will try and do that. And, I don't know if I don't think it's going to be possible, but if I could make it possible, what I'd want to do really is I'd like to see if I can raise the roof at all. I think that when I look at the gaps, it looks to me like that it would work if the roof was an inch higher, if that hub was an inch higher. I mean, that's not an easy thing to achieve, jacking that up. I mean, but there we are. Everything's where there's a will, there's a way. And, it might not be necessary. The webbing strap around the edge might do it, and then I can, it'll be all right. But I don't know. I think we'll see. We'll see. I've got not long now. Sarah wants to move in soon. A little while ago she said, I don't even want to move in till February. Well, now she's like, I want to move in as soon as I can. So, yeah. So far, so good. I've made the windows that go in these side bits. I've nearly finished the skylight tops. I haven't done anything with that patch over there, which is where the stove's going to go. But Sarah and Davin are buying the stove as we speak. I've kind of designed these windows, and I kind of think I know what's going on there. I don't even think it'll be that difficult. The door's made. It just needs handle and thing putting on it, a way of opening and closing it. Okay, so that's what it's looking like. It's got tarps on either side at the moment to cover up where the skylight openings are, and therefore it hasn't really had a proper test on the flashings, on the joints between each panel, where I've got these flaps and Velcro, like here, running up. Can't see anything in the... Oh, there. So that one looks really good. This one looks pretty good. So if the rain came at a nasty angle like that, it would push under there a bit, then it'd be stopped by the Velcro, and then hopefully that Velcro won't undo. It's interesting, I've used two slightly different Velcros and they're kind of alright, they're doing the job, but not as... Yeah, I won't do that again next time. I'll just buy... Well, some of them were discounted, you see, they were kind of... And yeah, and then so some of them aren't so good, like here, for instance. Where... I'll leave that on for now, but there are bits, it's not really sticking on though. I need to find something that acts like a repair tape onto PVC, because it's the only way I can see, because there are places where the flashings don't mate up properly, and so some bits aren't as solid as other bits with the flashings. Most of them are actually not bad, most of them. It's just there are some. There's one that's covered the other side. In fact, there's about two that are pretty bad. One of the bad ones is here. Up the side here. I got the top panel wrong, so the flashing on this side is like an inch or too little. Flashing on the other side an inch or so more than it needs to be. This flashing's okay. This one's okay. There's one really bad one under there. So, so far I haven't seen any signs of water coming in where the flashings aren't great. But like I say, because of the tarps are there, it hasn't really had much of a test yet. Anyway, so I better crack on whilst the sun's still shining and mark out the plastic for this piece. And then I'm going to, underneath here, there are lots of boards that the screws that fix them should be accessible and at the right angle, so I can slip those off. And underneath there are some slots in the frame, and I am hoping that I will be able to access those slots in the frame, like, might even be able to see one with the film, with the camera. Can you see up in there? This way around maybe. Up in there, can you see that slot? There is a slot there. So what I'm hoping is that I'll be able to get from that slot to the slot in that one and get a bolt through and actually put a bolt between these panels. If I can do that, then I've kind of got belt and braces on the, I've got the compression stroke tension band around the outside, and if I can get them bolts all to line up and bolt together the frames at the edges, at the ends, then there's a really good chance it won't spread. So, you know, I'd like to achieve that.